Whoops. Yeah,
we
so
back. We back. Yep. All right. So here it is. Look at that noise.
Grizzly old.
Hang on. Yeah, we've lost Zoom.
All right, never mind. There's a little. It just an S appears. It's just
a little critical.
If I can keep ranting for 1 more minute.
Odin.
Odin's fantastic. Odin's from the films and has a paddy and the dark elf.
The goat, 10 out of 10.
The goat, best goat would bang, and it's just. I just loved it. I loved everything about it, and I thought it was fantastically done.
Freya. Sorry, Kenny. Freya.
Boss.
There are rumours that the new Thor is Freya, or somebody working for her.
She did something to the hammer that's made it.
As kind of like a screw you to Odin.
Yeah, because Odin's just being a.
He does need bringing down a peg.
Recently, Freya has been. If you're not up to date on the current Thor kind of continuity, recently Freya has been the All Mother with her Freya and then 2 others have been like kind of the ruling triumvirate of Asgardia.
Odin's gone somewhere.
And Odin only just recently returned during the original Sin event.
Yeah.
And recently, Freya's been in a couple of series recently, and he's mostly been kind of working behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Specifically in the Loki comic, she's sort of been like nudging people in certain directions to, being a very sneaky person. So, which doesn't really lend credence to the idea of her being Thor. Maybe someone
who's working.
Maybe she's prodding someone else into being Thor. But the comic definitely hints at someone.
It's got something to do with
the
way
she
is
in control
about
in some fashion.
She's completely almost oblivious to the problems going on. Just wants to look after Thor to the point where she doesn't care that he moves on.
Do we think
the
new Thor is going to appear in the Avengers?
Probably.
With Black Captain America and was there another one?
The changing Tony Stark. He's become superior Spider-Man.
Superior Iron Man. Who's the baddie?
He's gone to like Iron. Probably maybe because of the maybe they linking it into the kind of him being sort of baddie Civil War times.
Which do we think we're going to get a retelling / reboot of Civil War in Marvel now?
Well, they're sort of heading. The thing is, they recently announced Secret Wars, which is like one of the only big events that Marvel did that rebooted their continuity in a big way. And if they're doing another Secret Wars, it could be that they're really rebooting their own continuity, which makes sense because they've been changing things recently. I think they're trying to make something newer for a lot of people to jump on because they've got the big built-in audience people now, people who want to read.
I mean, look at it. We've got the two Spider-Men who don't like each other, Miles Morales and Peter Parker.
They like each other.
Since when? They had a huge bust-up at one point, didn't they?
No.
Am I reading this wrong? Don't listen to me. I don't know Marvel.
Peter Parker because there's an ultimate Peter Parker and an ultimate Miles Morales, and there's Peter Parker from the main universe. And the main universe, Peter Parker and Miles Morales met up when Peter Parker got trucked into the wrong dimension, and they really liked each other. But originally, when Peter Parker met Miles Morales, they didn't get along because he had his web shooters. He had Miles and he wanted him back because he was they were from his dad had made them, so he wanted them back.
Well, still, we've got Superior Spider-Man coming back.
Well, the thing is, they've got Spider-Verse, which is a big multi-dimensional kind of end-of-universe event, and then we've got Secret Wars, which is a big multi-universe universe-ending event. Apparently, I don't read it, the Avengers title going on at the moment is dealing with universes collapsing and, timelines being erased. So that seems to be the way they're going.
I hope we do. I do hope we do, because I will read that. And can I just say, for me to be... Sorry, Kenny. For me to be so enthusiastic about this new Thor comic is rare, because I don't generally like Marvel. I prefer the darker DC stuff. But this was phenomenal.
I'm the opposite today. Marvel fan every way, and it just looks fantastic. It just looks...
I want to ask you, did you read the preceded this?
I've not read Thor when he fights on the moon.
That isn't that series. The Thor on the Moon is just the regular original Sin event. My kind of criticism of this is that this is coming off the legs of probably one of the best Thor runs in Thor's history, which is 25 issues. And I'm surprised how, for a number one, for a new character, how linked to events before now it feels for me, because from reading that. And it is a step down in quality, but only because the previous series was probably one of the best series Marvel was publishing in general. I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like a lot of people are probably missing out on that series, and they've kind of jumped on because it's like, oh, new character, female Thor, great. But maybe missing out on that series that came before it, which I feel like is a real shame, because it was so great. I feel like I want to pitch that series to people because that was current normal Marvel Thor teaming up with sort of 700 BC Thor, who used to hang around with the Vikings and go killing ice trolls with them, and then teaming up also with old Thor, who's at the end of time after all the gods have been killed in the universe, and he's got one eye and one arm, which happens in this comic. He loses an arm, so it's kind of, and it's by the same writer, so that's what I'm saying. It kind of linking into that, and they all team up to defeat a guy who's been killing gods for like the entirety of the universe. So for me, who having read that before, it feels very much like the opening chapter of the second book in like a trilogy, and then this is going to end, and then we're going to have another book which is just Thor becoming Odin Thor sort of thing, one-eyed Thor.
But then the start of the sequel is always going to be, and you just got to hope the sequel doesn't become.
I really hope people get interested enough from this to go back and read that series before, because it was like probably the best thing that Marvel were publishing.
Yeah, I think, to be honest though, it's the controversy which is going to put a lot of people off.
Yes. The internet that I've seen have been.
It's been
so many. It's been you can't do that. Besides the fact that Thor has been female before, and the fact that women have repeatedly picked up the hammer.
Thor was a frog for a while.
Yeah, Thor was a frog, but that's fine.
I'm gonna. I know we said we're gonna stick to comic books, but it's exactly the same as the whole female Doctor.
Yeah. Well, people asking for a female Thor. I feel like, the female Doctor, everyone's asking for a female Doctor.
The only point that I have to bring up being that a female Doctor can't be through regeneration, because it's been stated they have to say the same gender, the same person.
Doesn't.
Although
because of Romana and Rani. Sorry, Rani, she changed sex in one of the audiobooks, which are now classed in canon.
Well,
there's so much
in original Who, before they brought in because all the storybooks weren't canon until I think it was like halfway through Matt Smith or something. Someone made a statement saying they are now. In the original one, in your 13 regenerations, you couldn't change gender, just as you technically couldn't change your personality. You could alter it a bit, but you wouldn't do a major flip-flop, which is why the change was so insane from 1 to 13, was because they've gradually changed. But he has. You'll have your turn in a second, Kenny.
I'm saying, hey guys,
he does have. Okay, final point then. He is in a different regeneration cycle now completely, to the point where even he doesn't know what his cycle is now. So now, female Doctor is not canonically out of the question. Yes.
Canon is canon until it isn't.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is.
Whereas with Thor, we have no idea how he's become female. But
he's
become female. Thor being a title now, because of course in mythology it's been a god, and I'm pretty sure there's enough myths of someone killing a god and taking his mantle such that there's nothing to say you can't.
Which might be interesting in terms of maybe Thor, old Thor, not becoming this Thor again, but maybe becoming Odin instead.
He's already he could become the Allfather, rather, not necessarily taking the name Odin, but he could definitely be known as Odin's son, Allfather.
In the previous series, it was Thor the Allfather, and he had lightning powers and the Allfather Force. Is that called, or the All Force?
Something
not
like
sure.
It's what he uses against
Force.
the hammer in this. Yeah.
So that could be a direction they take it if the character is popular enough. If not, they'll just switch it back around again. And it would be that kind of way.
There was a great moment in this where I thought that Odin is finally being beaten.
Oh, when Odin's having an old man Paddy at the hammer, and it's you blasted thing, I created you, I'll destroy you.
Yeah. It's what Freya says.
So Odin, and it matches with the film's Odin, and it's just I thought it was fantastic.
The lines between Odin and Freya here, it's Odin saying, "I am the way and the watch and the wonder. I am him who speaks while galaxies obey." And Freya simply replies with, "It would appear the enchantment has grown beyond even the enchanter. Perhaps that is for the best." And I thought, okay.
Ooh.
That's...
Ooh.
I know, right?
Ooh.
That's the Asgardian equivalent of, like, you can't get it up anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just Freya's lack
Happens
of
to the best
concern
of us.
leads me to think that she's definitely got something to do with this.
She's definitely... It's really peculiar that she'd have that.
Also-
You'd almost say it was out of character if it were not for the fact that she's that sneaky.
Also, the art in this is great. Like,
Oh,
the
the art
ravens
is-
on
that's-
his
The
horns.
Raven's speech behind him is...
Do you want to hold that up while I...
Oh, when they go and sit there, what do they say? They say, like, Asgard, I can't see it.
It's just giving, like, basic information, but it's just
They
pretty
just think
creepy
of
way.
blood, ice, blood, Midgard, Asgard,
You can't even
Jotunheim.
really see them that well because
They're
they're just shadows. But
Yeah,
it's
the
very,
Ravens are fantastic.
It's very Poe.
Oh, yes. Just their moment in the
Yeah,
background,
yeah.
just rah, 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 with different
Speaking
words in
of
him.
them.
And
But yeah, the art's great. There's a big splash page or two-page spread
I
of.
have to say I'm not too fond of what they've done with the Ice Giants. They're a bit too barbaric for
Yes.
me.
I like that they feel big. They feel
The big's
like
good.
he's eating a shark.
Yeah, the big's
And-
good, the weapons are good, the outfits are pretty cool, but then...
The texture.
Yeah.
They're not very
I
icy.
don't mind the little bits, but they seem to have done them instead of being like a coating, they've done them like warts almost.
They're just
which is a
blue
bit
people with
too-
ice
yeah,
on them.
They're just giant blue people with some spikes.
Which is strange because in Thor 25, they were in that as well, and they were just like ice people.
Mm.
Do we have that here? Might be in the thing.
It was...
Stand by.
I think that'd be the one main criticism I'd have, would be the Frost Giants were a bit too...
Okay.
Bit too yellow nails.
Yeah, but it is a new
really
artist coming on.
small. Yeah, it is new art.
We'll see where it goes.
Sure, it goes.
Um,
I think they're
using-
minor enemies sort of thing, the way
Yeah,
they've been drawn, they're a bit...
Well, it's the real villain is Malekith.
Oh, yeah,
and he's
yeah.
just kind of messing around with the ice giants in order to get them to attack the place.
and find something. that
If we were
people-
going to put our rating from before onto this, how would we rate this, and would you recommend it to someone?
Someone who liked Thor, definitely. Someone who liked comic books, definitely. Someone who likes society change in everything, definitely.
Society change rating.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I'd put it easily
No,
9.5. Of these, if 10 was the best comic book out of all of these, I think Thor would go 10. I think Thor was the best of the 5. 6.
I think it's a great comic. If someone wanted to read Thor, I'd still say read the previous series and then read this, because I feel like it's like watching the beginning of Empire Strikes Back
It's
and
not-
not seeing A New Hope.
It's not a number one.
No, it's a number 26. Definitely.
It is.
It's a number 29 actually, including the
Which
original
is-
Sin stuff.
Which is a bit peculiar considering Batgirl is number 35 and feels like a fantastic number 1 star.
But that's what DC do.
Yeah,
they don't.
DC
They
do.
don't start the numbers again. Whereas Marvel are notorious for starting number one, so people think you're going to get.
It's part of it's even part of the Avengers Now initiative.
I think it's
and it's
because
not really.
everyone loves getting a number 1 issue.
Mm.
Everyone loves getting, because that whole idea of it might be worth something in the future, even though its chances are not. But,
And
Yeah.
but
you
it
just
feel-
like
But
that.
you feel more sure that this is a good place to start.
Mhm.
Even this 35, like I was talking to Joe last week, and I think it was you. It was just like, oh, do I need to read the ones before this? Because you see 35 and you
Yeah,
think,
you
oh,
do, you immediately
1 through
think-
34.
That's why I
But-
was thinking I'm going to have to catch up.
Which in a way puts you off
Does a little bit, doesn't it?
because you think, oh crap, I've got to spend all this money getting 1 to 35.
Marvel do actually. Last year they did a pretty good thing where if they some of the books they relaunched, but they did cancel and relaunch, so they were like technically, they were technically like 24 in a series, but they had number 1 on them. But it's like, oh, issue 24, Marvel Now 1.
Yes.
So it was like
So you
it was
didn't
very,
have to catch up
like,
just to make
yeah.
it known.
This
that-
comic nowhere on the thing does it say.
It's the start of a new
It's-
series.
there's no indication that this, unless you've been looking at them before or heard about it. There is
Definitely
no
do with
indication
the
that this is
first somewhere.
Yeah.
Issue 35
a new
first.
story begins here, sort of thing.
Or a new Batgirl. Or
Yeah.
something like that.
New Batgirl, new place.
Yeah.
to
Rises
put
from
it
the
on.
ashes. kind
Even
of
where
thing,
they've
you
got
know.
the graffiti on the mirror here, it could be put, who is the new Batgirl?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, it
yeah.
could be who is it?
Yeah.
New Batgirl, whatnot.
But that could potentially be a spoiler.
Oh,
It's-
could
it's-
technically.
Sorry! Spoiler alert.
Didn't
it?
have to say that though, Dave. You have just.
Is it? It's spoiler?
Potentially.
You read the ending.
You read the ending?
the text she gets.
Oh yeah, that someone knows.
It's what someone says.
It's this one here.
That text.
Yeah, that someone knows it's her.
But it's who it's from.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Heart Batgirl. What?
No, love Batgirl. As in, it's signed
Yeah.
as Batgirl.
She gets it. All right. Yeah. The
Right.
ending.
She gets a text
I read it
from
different.
somebody saying she's Batgirl.
Well, somebody saying, "I know who you are. I know you're Batgirl. I'm Batgirl." Basically.
Really? I read it differently. I read it as someone saying, "I know who you are."
See, that's interesting. Because are we right now?
Because the
Give
only
me-
thing
give me here for a
that
second.
differentiates that ending from the it's slightly bolder.
It says, and I'll read it out because we've now ruined this. You won tonight, Babs, but you're not cut out to protect Burnside. It's time for me to take over. Babs being her name, so
Yes.
she knows this person's Batgirl. It's time for me to take over. Step aside, or this is going to hurt. Heart Batgirl, being in a different font.
And
So the
who-
text is
okay.
from someone signing off as Batgirl.
Yes.
But they're also saying, "I know you're Batgirl."
Who's
'Cause
been
Babs.
Batgirl in the 52?
Just Barbara Gordon.
Yeah.
I thought
maybe-
Bruce Wayne put on a skirt for a while, or was that
Yeah, 'cause
not?
Stephanie Brown
52?
I think that might be your fantasies,
It
dude.
might be fanfic.
Yeah, Stephanie Brown doesn't exist in the New 52.
No.
That's strange.
In the new 52, it's Barbara Gordon.
Yeah, and when she was disabled, she just there was no Batgirl. I think.
Well, she's not. That hasn't happened yet in
No,
New
no.
52.
Oh, in
No,
New
she
52
was.
it hasn't happened.
Was she?
She was disabled, but then she had a miracle surgery, and
Oh,
and
okay.
it brought her back to being able to walk around. And the early issues are like her kind of like finding her feet again.
Okay, cool. Yes, because it touched on it a little bit in
Yeah.
this. Yes, I thought that was
And
a
like
bit-
some of the other issues were like kind of dealing with like trauma and sort of thing, like trying to get over the fact that she'd been disabled and that she'd been shot by Joker and things.
Yeah.
We should talk about Batman because we went longer than we thought we would.
Right,
we're,
yes.
we're currently at.
6th comic.
Oh, it says 17 minutes since we lost connection, so.
I think it's been like an hour and 20. to
Something like that, yeah.
do
Okay, I want to talk about this one.
we want to spoil this one though?
Yes. Because we can't not. If we're going
I
to talk
don't know.
But there's so much good stuff before then.
Oh, there's so much good stuff in just that episode.
Greg Capullo's artwork.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I am slightly in
Of all
love
of
with
them,
the
the
man.
artwork was the best. I would say that had the best artwork. It was just.
I've been waiting for a while to see him draw the Justice League,
And he
did not
draws the full
disappoint.
Justice League.
He does technically, yes.
Well,
Well,
we
not
have-
full Justice League.
We haven't seen.
The
how
cover's very
drawn-
misleading.
Yeah, there's no
well, you see
Cyborg or
yeah,
Green Lantern.
We
you
see Aquaman,
Green
Flash.
Lantern,
We don't
don't
see
you?
Green
Do you not? I thought you appeared.
No.
Oh, you don't see Cyborg. I know that, but
Just yeah.
It's
I almost
a
just
big,
want-
I mean, sorry, Kenny.
It's just a brilliantly drawn comic. Sort of, I've always loved Batman's sort of paranoia about the Justice League.
I've always loved Batman's million ways to stop the
Yeah,
Justice League.
I always I love his
And he
contingency
chose the
plans.
worst one in this comic.
Yeah, he really did. I said that to you
Sorry,
earlier
Kenny.
today. I said that to you. Solid kryptonite batsuit, which is a phrase that I've always loved, and it's he didn't choose that for some reason. He
Maybe it's
didn't.
not good material. But I've always liked Batman's paranoia about one day the Justice League is going to turn on him, and how does he deal with that when they do?
Definitely love that.
And-
definitely
And
love
whoops,
that.
it happened.
Oh
Yeah.
dear, they have, and
Um,
he kicks butt.
Yeah.
Until, of course,
feel like
literally
every-
a god enters the fray.
Yeah.
So like,
And there's even a moment in this where he thinks he's won, and then they hear this sonic boom, and they think, well, it could be Green Lantern, it could be somebody else, and he goes, but please God, no, not him.
Yeah.
And Superman descends,
Yeah.
and
this
it is.
This is after he's beat
Because
Diana.
he has
His eyes already glowing.
The whole time he's having a panic. He has a panic there because of
I
Flash.
want to
turning
say
up,
the Flash event is
most
is really
expensive
cool.
to stop. I
That's
love
that's
that.
probably it's the most sort of high concept way. And I was a bit confused about how that timeline of it at first, but like
It's because Batman's going
the
really
idea,
slow.
the idea of just you have to be faster than the Flash to defeat the Flash, and how you spent all this money just to be faster.
He spent the money just for a computer to work out
Yeah.
where it needs to set the thing.
Not even at optimal speed. So if Flash is going at his optimal speed, there's no way to stop him.
The Batman's basically got to have something that can withstand a hit from the Flash and put it in its way, which would require, I don't know, some form of large right-angled metal object.
Aquaman has the worst one, actually. I think it just covers him in goo.
I think the problem is, though, Aquaman
I think that was
just...
clever.
It's clever, but it's like, Aquaman.
The more you struggle, the more moisture we're going to absorb from you.
Poor Aquaman. Also, it's something that you could probably buy from the nearby, down the road chemist store, what he beats it with.
It does look like bubblegum.
He's essentially gone, how do I stop Aquaman? Google absorbent material.
You'll never defeat me.
Order a batch
what's
of
this?
that. Oh god, pink goo.
Yeah.
But it's just that Superman descending.
Wonder Woman was beaten beautifully.
Yeah, it's like tricking her and like
making her believe
thinking she's like cut his arm off and
stabbed him. And
it's great. I don't think many people get across sometimes the kind of the brutality of like Wonder Woman when she's using a sword and she's like.
Well, in her canon now, she's God of Thunder. She's God of War even.
Yeah.
She's got to be pretty badass to do that.
She appears at one point, doesn't she, with the 3 axes or something daft. And
I love her introduction where it's just like, oh, what's that? And all of a sudden, it's like, oh,
it's Wonder Woman.
What's that? Oh, the window is gone and he's coming and then just throws her out.
It's such a juxtaposition here. I mean, Alfred and Bruce seem genuinely happy and they're laughing together,
chatting and joking,
actually making jokes.
Shit gets
what the hell is that? Oh, it's Wonder Woman here to ruin the day.
And
it's a little bit botched by the adverts in the way, I thought.
It's comics for you there, though, isn't it?
I thought they could have put them in a better point.
Yeah. At the end.
Well, the thing is, you can't have 2 surprises.
That may be.
One surprise is good enough. You got to have safe point to get people interested.
It's just
it's a great cover as well.
It is a very good cover. Batman has always done fantastic covers.
Greg
Capullo and Scott Snyder. He's been with Batman New 52 since day one. And you'd think
this is going to be last storyline, do you think?
I think, well, with a name like Endgame, I think it could be his last storyline, yeah. If not, maybe they might curb Batman for a while, do you think? Just keeping with the Justice League? Because there's the whole Robin Rises thing where they're going off to search for Robin now, aren't they?
Batgirl coming up too, and he's in World's End.
He is.
Well,
I don't know.
He's dead in
World's End. We've got
End,
potential Infinite Crisis coming up.
We have.
Event.
But I think
they're both building towards it. To be fair, Marvel's got potential Civil War, at least in the films, building up.
Yeah, they're both kind of both
New Avengers, possibly, and New X-Men.
I mean, like I said, Scott Snyder's been with them since day one, and you'd think after 35. Well, no, did he do issue 34? I don't think he did 34. He took a break for issue 34.
And Capullo didn't either.
So for 34 issues, you'd think after that many, you'd be getting a bit bored of his writing. But he just keeps upping and upping and upping.
Well, he keeps going from one big storyline that we've never seen
Am
before.
I right in saying he's doing Eternal as well?
He's supervising Eternal.
Yeah.
Him and James Tynion.
He does seem to be the one that's heading up the Batman. Not maybe Batgirl or Batwoman or anything.
Yeah, not the Gotham, but the Batman.
He's in charge of sort of like the Batman scripting in general.
Yeah, but I have to say Batman 35 was my favourite.
I enjoyed it. I'm not sure it's the best beginning point for someone. It's a good clean break if you've read Batman before. I don't think it's one you can't completely cold on.
You can't start here.
Plus, the beginnings, the early kind of pages link apparently a lot into kind of Batman Eternal stuff going on. There's a sort of like he's injured and he's been fighting.
Yes.
But it doesn't really refer to who it was.
They just have the reference to the Scarecrow, which gives the.
If you've not been keeping up with Batman Eternal, it might come across a bit funny at first.
It confused me a little bit because I'm behind on Batman Eternal.
Yeah, it's strange because 34
to be fair, I kind of just
referenced
accepted it as Batman's injured from a fight. It's sort of the main that you'll always have.
Also, I like the kind of nod that this is one of I think this is one of the Court of Owls hideouts because it's like
you set out all the owls.
Get all the owls out of
and
it,
it's like a little owl on the perch there.
Yeah.
In the background, all these weapons there. So I think it mentions it briefly. I'm not really sure.
It does. It doesn't even directly mention it, does it?
Well, they built all these empty 13 floors and buildings, so you might as well use them.
Yes. Which is good, because that's getting back into potentially getting the Batman Incorporated stuff back up, because that was all brought down, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All their hideouts were knocked out.
Also, this is a really random aside, the whole 13th floor thing is being like an empty floor that no one uses. Really creeps me out, because it's a hidden thing in buildings that you think is there, kind of thing.
Most high-rises don't have a floor 13.
Well, no, they skip it out because it's
bad luck. Yeah.
I'm completely opposite.
I'm surprised
good luck.
I'm surprised they still do that.
Yeah.
Maybe like older.
It's superstition, isn't it? It's like in a theatre they never put aisle 13. Or
they'll never advertise
Silly people.
Macbeth
13th seat.
as Macbeth. It'll always
Scottish
be
play.
You know, we've talked about this quite a bit without actually mentioning the twist. I don't think we should mention it.
You don't think so?
No.
Which twist?
The ending.
The ending.
Oh,
I think it's worth coming and buying.
Well, the ending of this comic, not the add-on bit they put on.
Yeah, not the add-on. The who's caused this, basically.
Even though that kind of relates to it, I feel like we could.
I think it's a good time to bring the antagonist back. Because they have been missing for a while.
Being someone who's been killed off at least 2 or 3 times previously.
At least,
because I know. Oh no, I can't really say things like that. I know. Guess who it is?
Yeah. It's someone who's been away for a while and has come back.
Welcome return.
It's a welcome return, yeah.
Yes.
And we're
happy
interested
to
see where it's going, because this feels really awesome.
Of the group of them, it's possibly the one. Not necessarily that I want to see the whole series going. That's got to be Batgirl or Thor, probably Thor. But it's definitely the one that I want to see the next issue the most. What has to happen?
Have to wait a month for that one.
Yeah, I know.
Which is why they should do more weeklies.
No. Weeklies drops the quality. I would rather have quality over quantity.
Yeah, true.
I'm interested. I'm probably not going to continue with Suicide Squad.
No.
Miss Marvel, I'm currently reading and enjoying a lot, and heavily anticipating each issue that comes out. Earth 2. Maybe I'll continue with it. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to see how reception going forward is. Batgirl on board. Thor on board. Batman, I never left the board. It's yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. I think Suicide Squad and Ms. Marvel, I don't think I'll continue with. Obviously, I haven't read Suicide Squad yet, but from what you guys have said,
there are better Suicide Squad storylines.
Yes,
there's better Harley Quinn storylines.
World's End, I'm going to continue with A to see where it goes, and B because it's a DC Weekly series, and I like my DC Weekly series. Batgirl, it's the first proper Batgirl comic I've read for a while, so yeah, okay, I liked it. It was a good one to start with. Thor, from like I keep saying, from Marvel comic to want me to come back. Sorry, for me to want to go back to a Marvel comic. Yeah, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna carry on reading that, which is bizarre for me. Batman, I'm like Kenny. I've from day one.
I think you would really like Magneto.
Do you think?
Yeah, because he's just been going around murdering fools recently. I think that it's almost, it's not a DC tone, but it's a darker tone than Marvel is putting out on the mainstay. I think you'd enjoy that series.
Excellent.
It's locked into the whole Axis thing now, so it's a bit the 10 issues before that.
Sure.
Random aside. Sorry.
So, I think we're in a pretty good place to leave it.
Yeah.
So do we actually get an actual rating for Batman?
As an issue, it's fantastic.
9.
As a thing to pick up and just cold read, yeah. I mean, if you know about Batman, be prepared to maybe be a bit confused by some of the stuff going on in Eternal, but otherwise, it's a start of a storyline. It's pretty clean entry.
Well, the New 52 have never actually done an origin story for their characters again, have they? They just started their year.
You don't need to do Batman again.
You don't.
Everyone knows Batman.
I think the only one that I would certainly suggest as standalone without the rest of the series to read would be Batgirl. I think Batman and Thor were fantastic, but they would be advised to people that want to keep the series going. I think you want, as you say, Dave, you want to read more from them. I want to know Batman the next episode. I want the Thor series now, but Batgirl, I think you could comfortably have as a comic book you own as opposed to a series. It's very good.
A one shot with a bit of a cliffhanger at the end.
Bit of a cliffhanger. But you gotta have that on one shot. You gotta have some sort of ending.
You have, because then it brings you back to other comics. Okay, so Batgirl did this. What's the other Batgirl comics doing, or what's Batwoman doing? It gets you asking a lot more questions. I think, just on a side note, going back to where we were with the whole, there's a lot of Bat stuff out now. It's the 75th year of Batman. Which is why they're really focusing on that Batman stuff.
True.
So.
Not in 2 months, 3 months though. Not in a couple of months though.
No.
And they're not all getting cancelled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Comics. It's good.
Yeah, I think we should leave it there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
If you've liked anything you've seen here, some of them are on sale. Not actually on discount, but on actual sold goods.
And we can order them all in for you. I have checked that. They are all available.
Sometimes in bulk.
Yes, sometimes in bulk. If you want to know what's happening.
In case you want 25 first
issues
of Thor.
If you want the first 8 of Miss Marvel,
we can get them.
Which would be a delicious feast.
I want to read them. I don't know if I want to own them. I feel a bit bad about that, about the amount of hype for the series. I want to read it. I want to know what happens. But compared to Batgirl or Thor, which I want every episode from now on, I don't know if I want to collect issue. Damn it! I don't know if I want to collect the whole of Miss Marvel.
Yes.
I'm on for the ride with Miss Marvel. It's a new superhero. They're making a new kind of path through old continuity.
Well done. Shaky
I'm
start.
on board.
Yes. Okay. Let's leave it there.
Bye.
Bye.